topic is simple harmonic motion. So to understand simple harmonic motion, first let us figure out what periodic motion is, then what is an oscillation, and then we can understand simple harmonic motion. Right? Now, whenever we are talking about a body, say there is a circular path and a body is going around that circular path. So say the initial position of the body is P and it covers the circular path one complete round in a time period of T, or it takes T seconds to start from point P and reach point P once more. Again, it starts from point P and comes to point P. It takes another T amount of time, or T seconds or T minutes, whichever way you may put it. So basically, in every T seconds, this body is reaching the point P. So the body is repeating its motion. The body is going back to a given position after a fixed time interval T. So as mentioned, if a motion is repeated and takes a given amount of time to repeat itself, that is known as a periodic motion. And the fixed interval of time that we are looking at here, T, is known as the time period. Now, a special case of periodic motion is oscillatory motion, to oscillate. If you have seen the pendulum clocks in your house, maybe you had something like this and you had a watch of this structure and there was something, a bob hanging below. The bob would go left and right. रात के 12 बजे जो भूतिया मूवीज होती है ना, टिंग टोंग टिंग करके 12 बजे एक ऐसा क्लॉक बजने लगता है, पेंडुलम क्लॉक. Exactly, I'm talking about that clock. So oscillatory motion refers to that back and forth motion or to and fro motion along a predefined path. वो path fixed है, ठीक. द बॉडी इज नॉट सपोज टू डिविएट फ्रॉम दैट पाथ. उसी पाथ पे रहेगा, आगे जाएगा पीछे आएगा, आगे जाएगा पीछे आएगा. एंड द बॉडी इज सपोज टू अंडरगो द सेम पाथ. अगेन दिस इज ऑल्सो पीरियोडिक इन नेचर, राइट. द बॉडी विल गो फ्रॉम दिस पोजिशन to this position, again come back, go from this position to the extreme position and again come back. Now this complete cycle from going from here to here and then here to here, again to this point and to this point, a complete round of motion, that is known as one oscillation. अगर तुम पेंडुलम की बात करो, एज इट्स ड्रॉन हियर, यहाँ से यहाँ जाएगा, इट विल अगेन रिटर्न हियर, इट विल गो हियर एंड इट विल अगेन कम बैक टू इट्स ओरिजिनल पोजिशन. एक बार ऐसा होने के बाद यू कैन कॉल दैट एज वन ऑसिलेशन. एंड ऑसिलेटरी मोशन ऑल्सो हैज़ अ टाइम पीरियड और द अमाउंट ऑफ टाइम टेकन फॉर वन कंप्लीट ऑसिलेशन to occur, right? Now we are prepared that we can understand what SHM is. Just like oscillatory motion was a type of periodic motion, simple harmonic motion is a type of oscillation. Okay. Now, the only difference being simple harmonic motion occurs along an approximately straight path. because normally these distances covered are small, these amplitudes are pretty small. Even if you actually had a pendulum that could say travel this much, you do not consider the curved path for simple harmonic motion. Say if you focus on only this part, that's a very small portion of the circle, of a very large circle, say, and that will look approximately like a straight line, just here. Now in that case, you can call it an approximation of simple harmonic motion. So it is a special case of oscillation along a straight line. And let's see regarding this second point, acceleration always being directed towards fixed point, restoring force fixed point. क्या fixed point, क्या direction sir, क्या ऐसे बता रहे हैं? Let us find out. Now say this is the condition 1 of a spring, where the spring is not stretched, where the spring is not compressed, बस the spring is kept as it is, रखा हुआ है. So the body is all right, ये अपनी जगह पे है. Now what you do is, तुमको दिखा कि स्प्रिंग बेचारा शांति से बैठा हुआ है. अब तुमसे तो सहा नहीं जाता कि तो स्प्रिंग कैसे शांति से बैठ सकता है, मैं खुद शांति से नहीं बैठा हुआ हूँ. तो व्हाट इट डिड वाज, स्प्रिंग को खींच लिया, एक्सटेंड कर दिया. Now whenever you extend the spring, you will notice there is a force trying to pull the spring back to its original position, or pull the mass back to its original position. That force is known as restoring force. Like hand grip exercises, machines, there are some machines for gripping exercises. या फिर there are some soft squishy balls जो कि people use for say physiotherapy, small yellow balls, soft and squishy. You press them, they come back to their original position. So similarly, when you stretch a spring, it will try to come back to its original position. In that process, it will apply some force that is known as the restoring force. अब notice करना, the more you pull the string, or the more you pull the spring outward from its original position, the more will be the restoring force, the more will be its tendency to come back to its original place or original position or original length. When you elongate a spring by a certain length, the higher the elongation, the more will be the tendency of the spring to come back to its original length. That force is known as restoring force. अब यहाँ तक तुमने खींच लिया. Now you let the mass go. So it will start moving towards the mean position with certain velocity, and the velocity will say increase. जब again इस point पे पहुँचेगा तब इसका velocity maximum हो जाएगा. So it will cause some compression in the spring, right? And then again this will repeat. There is some compression, the spring will try to go back to its original position. In this process it will push the mass forward. फिर जब मेन पोजीशन पे आएगा इसकी मैक्सिमम वेलोसिटी होगी, फिर ये आगे की तरफ बढ़ जाएगा. Now actually ऐसा नहीं होता है, but we always assume ideal cases. They may or may not exist. They mostly do not exist. Ideal student, ideal teacher, ideal spring, ideal engine, they do not exist. These are models, right? So in these models, we assume that there is no loss of energy. When you stretch the spring, it has some potential energy. It develops potential. And when you leave the mass comes back to its main position with certain velocity. So gradually that potential energy is getting converted into kinetic energy. Again, from this mean position, while going to the left side, the kinetic energy keeps getting converted to potential energy, and there is a cycle of interconversion of potential energy to kinetic energy and vice versa. There is a section of this chapter dealing with it on conservation of energy. We'll look at that later. But abhi ke liye, just know that force or acceleration that the body is experiencing Like here you notice the force is towards the mean position, towards left side. If the force is towards the left side, the body will also accelerate towards the left side. So force is along a direction opposite to that of displacement. यहाँ पे displacement original से पॉजिटिव है, सो रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स पीछे की तरफ काम कर रहा है, राइट. सो फोर्स इज proportional to negative of displacement. When force is proportional to something, say we can say the force equals to minus x multiplied by something multiplied by a constant. There is a constant k, and you have already read this previously. K equals to m omega squared. Now you know what I'm trying to say. Omega is the angular frequency, and we substitute the value of k in this expression to obtain this expression, where m is the mass, omega is the angular frequency, that is equals to 2 pi f or 2 pi by t, and that should be the restoring force. A little bit more about it. So far restoring force is along a direction negative of displacement. It has a tendency of bringing the particle to the center of oscillation, यानी कि पार्टिकल का मीन पोजीशन. रेस्टोरिंग फोर्स विल ऑलवेज ट्राई कि पार्टिकल अपने मीन पोजीशन पे आए, ठीक है. जैसे नॉर्मली से पेरेंट्स, I don't know about all parents, but some parents are there who want their kids to be, close to them, mean position, अपने पास comfortable, no restoring force, no खिंचाव, no तनाव, स्प्रिंग बस अपनी जगह पे बना रहे. And restoring force is opposite to the direction of motion when body is going from mean to extreme position. Now you have noticed when the body is going from A to B, the restoring force is trying to bring it back to A. So when a body is going from mean to extreme position, the restoring force is opposite to the direction of motion. But when a body is coming back from B to A, from extreme position to mean position, then restoring force is along the direction of motion. And since we discovered that, or rather since we learnt that force is directly proportional to displacement, डिस्प्लेसमेंट जिस पॉइंट पे ज़ीरो होगा उस पॉइंट पे फोर्स भी ज़ीरो होगा. जिस पॉइंट पे डिस्प्लेसमेंट मैक्सिमम होगा उस पॉइंट पे रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स भी मैक्सिमम होगा. मतलब आइडियली एक स्प्रिंग को जितना ज़्यादा खींचोगे वो स्प्रिंग में उतना ज़्यादा रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स डेवलप होना चाहिए. इट इज़ बेसिकली द टेंडेंसी ऑफ ए सिस्टम टू गो बैक टू इट्स इक्विलिब्रियम कंडीशन without any unaccounted for stresses, without any unbalanced forces. ठीक है. The net unbalanced force should be zero. Now let us check a question. The resultant force acting on a particle executing SHM is 4 newtons. किस पॉइंट पे? The resultant force acting on a particle executing SHM is 4 newtons when it is 5 centimeters away from the center of oscillation. Find the spring constant. Now, to visualize it, say there is a spring and there is a mass attached to it. Now say 1 is the mean condition or mean position, whatever you call it. You people can be mean. Now this is extended. Now say this is the center of oscillation along this vertical line. This is stretched by how much? 5 cm. And the restoring force developed is 4 newtons. Are you getting a picture on how to solve it? Right? So basics of simple harmonic motion you just read F equals to minus kx. So force is 4 Newton equals to minus k, x is 5 cm. तो यहाँ पे लिख देते हैं 5 cm, नहीं, we are dealing with newtons, so basically we are dealing with SI units. So let us first convert this 5 cm into meters, 0.05 meters, so k into 0.05, or rather, now say this minus gives us the direction. So let us just calculate the magnitude of the spring constant. So that means k equals to minus 4 by 0.05 mod magnitude, right? Purely magnitude, no direction involved. We're just calculating the magnitude. Now 4 by 0.05 is how much? 80. एंड हमेशा की तरह तुम लोग यूनिट्स भूल जाते हो. सो लेट अस सी 4 न्यूटन्स बाई 0.05 मीटर्स, सो 80 न्यूटन पर मीटर. दैट इज़ द रिस्टोरिंग फोर्स, है ना. नाउ नोट दैट whichever point you call as center of oscillation or the mean position or the equilibrium position, उस point पे displacement zero होता है. The displacement at the center of oscillation is zero. So now you know force is proportional to minus x और force equals to minus kx. अभी तुमने problem solve किया. If x equals to 0, force equals to 0. Keep that in mind. So net force on a particle at the center of oscillation is 0. Alright. Now one more important part, like I think now you're ready to start the basics. Equation of SHM. Whenever a body is undergoing SHM, there are certain equations to describe its position, describe its velocity, describe its acceleration, and all the other stuff. Now let us try understanding. Say this is the initial condition and this is the final condition. A body begins from position x0, and while beginning it has a velocity v0, and then it reaches a position where its displacement is x1 and velocity is v. Simple. That is something that we can understand. एक बॉडी का मूवमेंट शुरू हुआ यहाँ से x0 से x1 तक आया. x0 पे उसका वेलोसिटी v0 था, x1 पे उसका वेलोसिटी से v1 हो गया. ठीक है. Now all of us know force is what? Del p by del t. Or rather this or d by dt of mass into velocity, because remember momentum is the product of mass and velocity, or m dv by dt plus v dm by dt. Now we will assume that the mass of the body is not changing since this is not a rocket propulsion problem, or we can say force equals to ma. Right? I'll request all of you to remember force as the rate of change of momentum rather than force equals to ma, because force equals to ma is a special condition of this thing where the rate of change of mass is 0. But anyways, force equals to mass into acceleration, or acceleration of the body is equals to force by mass. And force we have previously calculated, right? फोर्स का क्या था, माइनस के एक्स बाई मास, राइट। एंड यहाँ पे देख लो, माइनस के एक्स, and from this k by m is how much? If we have k by m, that gives us omega squared. Now back here we have got minus k by m or minus omega squared x. That means a equals to minus omega squared x. This is the equation of an SHM, right? Says this is the equation which lets us know that, okay, you see this equation is present, that means something is undergoing simple harmonic motion, right? Okay, so let us simplify it a bit. If we have this acceleration, can we write acceleration as dv by dt? Because we know acceleration is the rate of change of velocity. And again we equate it to minus omega squared x. Now let me do this, dv by dt into dx by dx, because simply just understand that dx by dx is 1. So me multiplying 1 to any side of the equation is not a crime, right? Equals to minus omega squared x. Now you people know how these things work. So now we have what? We have dv by dt into dx by dx equals to minus omega squared x. Let me rearrange it a little bit. dv by dx and dx by dt equals to minus omega squared x. Or we can write dx by dt as v, or velocity, rate of change of displacement is velocity, right? So v dv by dx equals to minus omega squared x. Now I can write v dv equals to minus omega squared x dx, right? Now when we try to integrate both sides, just know that v naught was the initial velocity and v1 was the final velocity. And in terms of x, x naught was the initial position and x1 was the final position. So we can integrate it. Integrating this gives us v squared by 2 from v0 to v1 equals to minus omega squared x squared by 2 x0 to x. Now solving this will cancel out the 2 on both sides. Okay, it will give you v1 squared minus v0 squared equals to minus omega squared x squared minus x0 squared, x1 squared minus x0 squared. So v1 is the final velocity, so v1 squared equals to minus omega squared x1 squared minus x0 squared plus v0 squared, right? or I can say minus omega squared x1 squared plus omega squared x naught squared plus v naught squared. Right? I hope you understand this. So v1 means, what you can do is, to obtain v1, you can place a square root over this RHS, right? And let us try square root in place, minus omega squared x1 squared plus omega squared x naught squared plus omega squared by omega squared v naught squared. Let us take omega squared separated from this expression, and what we get is x naught squared plus v naught squared by omega squared minus x1 squared, right? That basically means v1 equals to omega multiplied by square root of v naught squared by omega squared plus x naught squared minus x1 squared, right? Or from this, what you can obtain is v1 by omega whole squared equals to a squared minus x naught squared. Simplifying it further, let me break it down for you. You obtained v1 equals to omega square root of v naught squared by omega squared plus x naught squared minus x squared. Now you take this term as a, so v1 equals to omega root over of, okay, this is a squared, sorry, minus x squared. You take v naught squared by omega squared plus x naught squared as a squared. So that means v1 becomes omega a squared minus x squared, or rather x1 squared, sorry. But we also know velocity is dx by dt, change in displacement, right? So equating these two parts, what we can write is omega a squared minus x1 squared equals to dx by dt, or omega equals to 1 by a squared minus x1 squared dx by dt. Then we can further write omega dt equals to dx by root over of a squared minus x1 squared. Okay, and this is from x0 to x1. This is from 0 to t within some time period t. So what we have here is omega t, lower limit 0, upper limit t, equals to sine inverse x by a from x0 to x1, right? That means omega t equals to sine inverse x1 by a minus sine inverse x0 by a. That means we can write omega t equals to sine inverse x1 by a minus, take this second part, sine inverse x0 by a, as delta. Okay, in this case it is a constant, take it as this. So what I can write is sine inverse x1 by a equal to omega t plus delta, right? Or x1 by a equals to sine omega t plus delta, or x1 equals to a sine omega t plus delta. So what we finally obtained is x1 equals to a sine omega t plus delta. Okay, so this is the displacement, where a is the amplitude or the maximum displacement from the main position. There are certain terms associated with simple harmonic motion, and we'll be discussing that in the next session. Thank you.